So I love that we can do that. But you couldn't do that for the first, I'd say, 2 months here on Haps. Haps is still learning, still growing. We're learning every day. Bonjour, Colin. How are you, my friend? I have to invite you. It helps if I invite you, right? Let's do that. Here we go. Are you currently ready to come up, Colin? Are you you're French today? I like that. Colin Porter. Please follow this man. He has a huge following. He's known worldwide. He's an inspirational coach. He's a dear friend. And he's a solid individual. I highly recommend following him. He'll be a world-class star once he gets some fiber optics in his life. That's all he needs. Gets the fiber optics, gets the digital signal, and we will be rocking in the free world for sure. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I want to say hello to my good friend Fraser if you're out there today. Hello, Hans. How are you today, sir? There he is.
Wonderful. How are you?
Did you go to Walmart and pick up some pop for us? That 57. The other thing is, too, were you able to try on some soft pants while you were there by any chance?
No, but I did. Well, I'm waiting for their next round of clothing change, but I did find a lot of shirts that I liked. So, yeah, it's that is the downside. There's no touch when you're shopping online, so that retail experience is hard to replicate.
You look a lot like a guy that was on earlier with a different shirt, like very similar.
Same shirt, but
yeah, it just looks different in this lighting. I noticed Carmi at one point was breaking up a bit. I hope that doesn't show up on the broadcast. Did you notice that as well?
I wasn't sure because, well, everyone, the internet's probably a little slammed because of all the storms and everything.
Yes.
But I noticed that I kept getting pop-up alerts that my network was unstable. And so I had no idea what was happening, if it was my side or his. But I think there seems to be a lot of congestion going on today.
That was a great show, though, man. You should be proud of that show. That was well done. Carmi was great.
Thank you. Yes,
it was great.
Great conversation. Really enjoyed.
I noticed Ari was in there. There was another lady I didn't know, but I had a feeling she knew you. Did you know that lady near the end?
Leslie?
Yeah, was it Leslie? Should we invite her as well, or is she not camera ready?
Yeah. We can. She
gave you control.
On...
I gave you controls there, so not to rule the universe, though.
Excuse me. Carmi said, thank you for the invite. He can't come. He has to go walk the dog. The dog informed him that it was time to go. And so he's going to go do that, but he will definitely join us another time.
You know what that feels more like? I need to wash my hair. I've stubbed my toe. I would rather put a nail gun through my fist.
I don't think Carmi could.
No, Carmi is a sweetheart. I'm just messing.
I don't think he could lie to us.
No, he's not. He's not wired like that. He's actually one of the most decent human beings I know. All right. Hi, Vaughn. How are you? Vaughn, are you available for camera? Could you do camera? Are you camera ready? We'd love to meet you. I noticed he gave you a $10 tip. Woohoo!
I couldn't believe that. So honored. So,
Vaughn, if you want, I'm going to invite you if you want to come up. If you give anybody a $10 tip, we'll let you come up. If you crash and burn, then we'll go, what? Vaughn who? Vaughn where? No.
Yeah, very, very honored. Certainly, I'm not here, just a like is good enough for me. It's about sharing the content, building up a library that people can refer to. But it was very much appreciated. So thank you. And we'd love to have you another time, Vaughn.
We need to support each other, right? Okay, I got Vaughn in there as well if he wants to come up. But and I know with these shows with me, you never know who's coming up. You never know what's going to happen. It's not structured for your other shows. So he right now is adjusting to the, the field of possibility that he had before, where there was some structure, where now he's in Michael's realm of insanity, which is good. I feel like you're getting used to it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It is a mellow and very inclusive flow. One of the great things, and in previous chats, Vaughn had mentioned this as well, that some of the other platforms became a bit toxic, and where people were driving, I wouldn't call them hate, but definitely trolling and conflict driven. There's a few people, I will say, that spice things up a little too much, but one of the great things I've seen with the HAPS community and with the people that are listening in on some of the other platforms is by a great degree, it really is supportive. It's positive.
Yes.
There's not a lot of hate, and that's, really appreciate that.
Well, we got to remember too that the bigger we get, which we will, and I don't mean like our egos. Let the light shine on you, son. Let the light shine on you. There you go. It's shining on him. There you go. Oh, we got the Light Business Show logo.
I figured you were going to mention the show at some time, so I'd throw the logo in there at the time you do.
Got it. Randy got very angry with me because I had very spiritual pictures on in the background. He goes, "What the hell's that? Screwing with the bandwidth, it's making everything glitch." And I'm going, "It's not making anything glitch. What are you talking about?" "Oh, yeah, it takes up a whole space." And he gave me this big logical thing, and I was like, "Oh, you are clearly not digging this." That's okay.
Sorry, I had to turn off my space heater. It finally got my office warm enough, and I needed to cut it off so I don't burn out.
Well, we don't want him fading, right? Yeah. Lady, how are you? She is, oh my God, what an incredible woman. She's 70. She looks 50. She is spicy. She's religious. She's kind. I thought for sure that she would never go on our show or near us again, because Colin and I had the show one night and it got kind of sideways. They do sometimes. It went really sideways. Everybody was kind of talking at once. Nobody was listening to it. Some people had bandwidth. Some people didn't. We were in a show the other day, and I'm not joking. We had 6 of them. And what happened was it kept rotating. It kept rotating over and over again. It was the weirdest thing. So I just kept singing in the background, "Gonna go around in circles, da, da." And we could not figure it out. But I think it had to do something with bandwidth. Are you okay if I have flowery pictures occasionally up? Will you get offended and start, making up some theories?
I don't get offended. I may crack a joke here or there, but purely for enjoyment and entertainment.
Do you have a fan on right now? I hear a fan or something.
I'm using my good microphone. That's actually, I turned my air filter. I have a HEPA filter in my office because I'm allergic to dogs, and I have 5 of them, and they sleep underneath my desk or in the office. So that keeps me breathing and not sneezing as much. I can kick it all the way off for this show, though, if you're picking it up too much.
Vaughn says it sounds like my Zoom calls with friends. Yeah.
Oh, that bad? Yeah, I'll definitely turn it off then.
It almost sounded like dial-up to me too. Retta, how are you, buddy? Been a while.
You're picking up this. Okay, so that's the problem. Okay, the downside of getting a really good mic. You were picking up the sound of bubbles as I poured more Canada Dry ginger ale.
Well,
the drink of the moment,
which is our current sponsor. That he needs the zero. Now we're trying to get Walmart to sponsor him for that brand that we were talking about for 57 cents, because it adds up. If you drink enough at 57 cents, woohoo, better show them that. Look at this, guys. Like, you are living large when you drink this stuff. Look at this, or you'll become large.
Well, I actually will bring one bottle into my office, but I fully admit I am addicted to Diet Dr. Pepper, although with the amount I consume, and I'll take a lot of beating for this because everyone always insults my soda drinking.
Yes.
and that is the Diet Dr. Thunder is only 57 cents for 2 liters in the States, and I can afford to drink that.
Dr.
Hello,
Thunder.
Colin?
Yeah. Colin, there you are, my friend. Are
Good
you
evening,
okay?
Jim.
Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen. How the devil are you? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Well,
I
so
think.
far we're
Am I?
great. We don't have to have you in the background. Sometimes your voice is enough, right? Now you'll notice it'll go from a sausage fest to many women in here very soon. Thank you, Colin, for that. We appreciate your support.
Not.
We do. You know, without you,
Bless you.
we would just I would wonder about a lot of things. But now that I have you here, I'm feeling more complete. So, what drink do
I
you
enjoy the
drink, sir?
broadcast. What drink do I drink?
Yeah.
As in beverage or as in an alcoholic tipple?
Whatever you want, whatever tickles your fancy on this wonderful Tuesday night. Tell us all about it.
A cup of tea, cup of PG Tips tea.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
as the advert says, it's the taste, and it makes everything well with the world. Yeah,
Good, 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 good.
makes everything well with the world.
Would you?
So
Will
how
you
are
be?
you both?
What did you think of Han's show? I noticed you were there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Carmi didn't want to come.
Inspiring.
Yeah, Carmi didn't want to come up. I think he knew it was a very different world coming here. It would not be the same. There would be,
Okay.
yeah, a lack of structure, maybe a little humor. You know, maybe just a smidgen of humor here and there. So let's say you didn't have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Okay, and you weren't drinking tea. What would you do? We got Ari here, man. With the planets have aligned. Look at that. Now Ari's not afraid. He's not afraid. He knows where it's happening. He's here.
Hey guys.
He's here.
He's straight in there like a
look at that.
Wrapped up a drain pipe.
When he looks like that, he looks like Roy Orbison. We better switch this. This is not.
Hey guys.
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Tired. How are
How's it
you?
going?
What are you tired? What did you think of the show?
Hold on a second. What's up? I'm just on a call. Okay, thank you, sweet. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
What I think of the show, I actually was eating dinner with the family, so I missed it.
Okay. We were hoping you were going to jump up. He didn't tell you, eh? So we were hoping you were going to jump up.
We'll go ahead and redo the whole show right now for you.
Yeah,
so
no,
everyone else, hold on. We're going to repeat the last time.
Yeah. It's okay. We kept going.
Thank you.
Where's Ari? I think he's eating biscuits. I don't know. What's he doing? Okay. No. Carmi was fine. Carmi did a great job. It felt weird not having 4 people, though, didn't it? It always feels weird when we don't have 4 people. Yeah. So how do we fix the situation with Ari here? Because I'm seeing his lips, I'm seeing his nose, and the bottom of his.
We do that. Oh, I see how you're seeing me.
Yep.
Yes. We want to see the full. Well, we better be careful. Okay, this is good.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
There I go. Okay, folks. There may. You know what this is from? This is from all the bad weather everywhere. It's affecting his bandwidth. That's what it. That's what it is. I feel Texas got hit with snow.
They got hammered.
Yeah.
Crazy. Did you know that, Ari? Like a lot of places, they have power outages. I barely could run the morning show this morning. I couldn't get a server. No joke.
Really? Not
Yeah,
bad.
couldn't get a server. I think I ended up in Sudbury. That's where it said I was.
Wow.
Yeah. I was also waiting for you
good.
on that show, too. I just kept waiting. I put him in the guest list and he never came. Where's Ari? Where is Ari? And but you're here now, and I need to let that go. I need to let that go. What do you think? What do you think, Hans? A couple of years of therapy, I'll be fine. It'll all work out. We'll be good. So, this Sunday, are you available again? Like, I'm hoping to get a bunch of guests this Sunday. Look at that. See, going to go around in circles. That's what it did. We had something wrong with the matrix just for a second, a glitch. Just a slight glitch in the matrix. That's all. It was.
Oh,
Yeah. If we saw a black cat
Right.
go by
we're doing
twice.
so well. We've got Don Brandt. We've got Lindsay Badger in the house.
Yeah.
Michael Murray.
So Ari, what do you feel like talking about tonight? This is you're a little tired, so I would rather talk about things you want to talk about. So tell us what you feel like talking about. It's not the same anymore that we don't have the man with the many hairstyles. You know, you and I always had stuff to talk about when the man was in charge with the many different hairstyles.
Yeah. No, you just sort of set me off. You knew how to get me going. But just uttering his name or you eat orange Cheetos, that would set me off too. But I don't know. What were you just talking about? I'm pretty easy going with this stuff. Like what are you talking about? I'm actually pretty easy going.
What do you think so far with the leadership that we've seen? Because honestly, I feel safer lately than I did with the new. So I don't know if that's in my head.
Canadian or American? Canadian or
American
leadership.
Yeah, I think our new leaders is a little spiritual.
I'm fine. I'll tell you.
Is somebody getting an incoming call?
That's Hans.
Yeah, so
Hans.
Let me.
Nope, that is not me. I have my phone on mute, so we'll come back to Ari.
Things are really choppy here.
Yeah, Ari, do you want to go to your computer and come back? Because you're breaking up.
Yeah, let me do that. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. We'll wait for him. He's worth the wait. There we go. Okay. So Colin, that's what it's like when the bandwidth isn't right. It's a sloppy mess, right?
I understand completely.
It's not good. Now look at it now. We're all crystal clear here. So I want you, Hans, if you can, to tell us, do you feel safer since we have the new leadership? Do you feel any different?
So when you've got a coin and you just keep flipping it over in your hand, and each side has something really, really good about it, and each side has something you really hate. To me, that's the same way. So everything I hated in the last term, I'm now loving. Everything that I loved in the last term, I'm now hating. And so I think it nets out. I will say I am glad to see the response to COVID being more driven off of the medical experts and advisors. However, I can also see that there seems to be a lot of blowing steam, like claiming, hey, I just secured 200 million doses. You just signed a check saying you'll buy them when they're available. That hasn't gotten us anything. Like, yes, I'm glad you have the deal. I'm glad that that's there, but the problem isn't securing them. It's actually getting them out and into the field. And that hasn't changed. So I don't appreciate the pomp and circumstance trying to make people think that, in a couple weeks, everyone will have a carton of eggs, a loaf of bread, a bottle of milk, and a vaccine. I think that's giving people false hope. We need to hunker down a while longer.
Okay, so if I don't get the vaccine, what do I get again? I get a bottle of milk, and I got what? Did anybody else? Really? I'm just because I can probably live without the vaccine. Okay, if I get some of that pop you like, I'm open. Hey guys, this looks like a new and improved 3.0, Ari.
Yeah. I just wanted to try by my phone because I'm not always at my PC.
It didn't go well. It's like going to church without a suit. And you were just wearing your shorts, it's not the same, man.
Part of that is HAPS does use a lot of bandwidth and processing power.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll get better.
I love that. Your slip up was good. We should call that our show Brandwidth instead of bandwidth. Welcome to Brandwidth. Yes,
good idea.
We're expanding as you speak. I love that, actually. No joke.
Infinite testimony.
Yes. So, Colin, how are you doing? I love having you crystal clear. Like, I bet the women around the world are so much happier than they were a week ago.
Who knows the secret of the black magic box? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a single clue. I just know it's been a long day today. A long day.
What made it long?
Sorry?
I think Ari had a long day too. What made your day long? Go ahead. First Colin.
Well, basically, every now and then I have a flare up with a skin condition called eczema or eczema, however you want to pronounce it. And today was just a bad day. You know,
I'm sorry.
sometimes. Yeah. So it is what it is. It is
Fair
what it is.
enough.
I sometimes have flare-ups, but they're with my family members or my wife. But it's not a skin condition.
Those are easier to handle.
Yeah,
Those are easier to handle, Michael.
Yeah, but I find it's like having heat rashes as well. I find I have heart palpitations and the back of my neck gets red and there's pain. So yeah, I think that
Okay.
they call that stress, don't they, Hans?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Called stress.
They call it stress. So listen, does anybody know Fat Guy Out West? He's amazing. So I've invited him. I hope he comes up.
Good.
Yeah. So this is going to be the Wild West tonight. I noticed yet we've not had a woman come up, but that tends to be my path. I think I've just
It is what it is.
So you're asking me before about what I think of the administration, and
yes, thank you.
I agree in the comment. There was one comment that came by. It's too soon to tell. Some of it is too soon to tell, and also, I'm trying to decide, like, are things materially different in some way? I mean, clearly in terms of vaccinations and health outcomes and whatnot, it's not materially different. It's still the same kind of problems, because that's a much more of a lagging indicator in some ways. But what I will say is definitely different is the transparency in terms of communication. That's undergone some changes here. Whether that will substantively turn into better outcomes, we'll see. But just in terms of the approach to communication has definitely changed.
Do you find now that your selection of ties has changed since Donald's gone? Did you feel like you were inspired by the ties that he wore? I found myself wearing a lot of Donald kind of ties. I felt very inspired by his ties. It was one of the things that made me feel right with the world. And now that I don't have that, and I always felt better about my hair. My hair now, when I look at it, I just don't feel the same anymore. I always felt like it could be
drawn to wear a cravat.
I will
fancy a cravat.
Von Allen made a good comment here, is that it's easier when you have a cooperative media, and that's fair. I mean, there is, I don't, the word bias gets overused a fair bit here, but definitely there is a preference to what the media will support, and that directly impacts the perceptions and how easy of a time they have. So, I mean, I don't disagree with that.
As much as I give him a rough time, I thought the impeachment was ridiculous.
I agree. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I think he needed a good spanking, to be very open, because it was crazy. But did it rise to the level of? No, I'm being serious. Does it rise to the level of sedition? Does it rise to the level of that? No, it doesn't. It's completely absurd, and there's putting a rational thought on it. And I'll tell you, I'm not a fan of his. I mean, putting a rational mind on it, there was no justification for those kinds of charges.
What do you think, Hans? Come on, we need some sanity, because if I say something, it won't be. Go for it.
Well, and I've said this for a while, and it really goes back to Clinton, and it's getting worse. We weaponized the control processes in our government, the ones designed to prevent anything from treason to incompetence, and now we're using them as a weapon to win elections that you lost, to try and remove or humiliate. Like, there was no reason to go after him. They could have just let him fade into obscurity or go back to The Next Apprentice, Lonely Island, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing this. It was a distraction when we didn't need one, and a great disservice. I heard his call with our Secretary of State and our governor. Was he absolutely insisting that, he believes, I think that he should have won the election, because probably whatever information he's getting, he wants to believe that instead. I didn't hear anything where he said, I want you to go up and make up 11,000 votes and flip the election. He's like, go back and, figure out, recount. I know I have the votes there. Find them to get the right number that makes me win. I don't think that was trying to go after it, but now we've got a criminal investigation going on.
Yeah. So my own, the only thing I'll call out there is that in general you're right, Hans. But the one thing I'll say that kind of did him in my mind on that in particular is I want you to find me 17,870 votes. Like he was very specific with the number, and that's pretty shady. Like that's way too shady.
But here's the thing: if he had you two on his administration, he would have had the right number.
No.
So you're giving him a right.
He would have fired me pretty quickly. He would have fired me pretty quickly.
Oh, I think you guys would have had it down to it's 7. Donald, it's 7 votes, buddy. I'm sorry, it's not 8,000. But you know what? Yeah. I love your tie.
Never surround yourself with yes people.
Well, look, there were people to the administration's credit, there were people around him in the last days that said, look, you can't do this. Like, this is illegal. We will all step down. Like the whole Justice Department was about to step down over this.
Yes.
In terms of the stuff he was pulling. And, I got to give them credit that finally for them, that was enough shenanigans for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hans.
Yes.
Your last comment, what was that? Never surround yourself with what? Sorry.
So yes men or yes women.
Oh,
so the problem.
I agree. I agree.
Not the latter half. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, you've got to have people there that are going to say, they call a spade, basically. What they needed was a lot of people like Randy, because Randy wouldn't go along with the whole yes thing. He'd say, no, this is how it is.
He would last 35 minutes. You guys would at least, you guys might last 35 days if you were paid well. You guys would know how to skate. You'd do well. You would. You'd shuffle, you'd make your 9 million and leave. You would.
Right.
Your wardrobe would be better. Like you do it for me, right?
Yeah. And now, now losing, so winning the impeachment, great, fine, you got that. You lost the trial, so technically he could run. It's not going to happen. I can't imagine he could ever win another primary, but that's beside the point. And now you're going to open up a publicly funded commission to investigate the riots. Now, if you're doing that to see, do we have a problem where there is a legitimate terroristic or domestic threat that we need to worry about? Absolutely. But why don't we let our Justice Department launch that? It doesn't need to be this independent commission. And why are you still going after them? And if they do, let's go after and let's look at everyone. Let's look at everyone who was inciting the riots last summer during what were peaceful protests that led to riots and state buildings being looted and burned down. Let's go ahead and open it up. If we're going to now say that tweeting, stand up and civil disobedience is okay, let's go ahead and hold everyone accountable to the same standards and see where it falls. And I'm tired of the political games from both parties. And I wish people would stop reelecting. We need term limits. We need to throw a lot of people out of office.
Yes.
And it's not going to happen. But I'd like to poke that stick a little harder. There's a lot of the government has become sedentary, and it needs to be refreshed.
We need to read a comment here, and this is happening on HAPS a lot. We're not getting notifications, right? Like people are just not getting the notifications for some reason. Now, your show tonight would have had 9,000 views if they would have got the notifications. That is the problem. HAPS, we love you, but please support us. Make sure that we get those notifications. And Ari, sometimes dinner can wait. We needed you today, buddy.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can't be everything to everyone. I understand that.
And you know what? It was a long day, and so I just needed to relax over dinner. So.
And you deserve that. When you play Superman all day, it's hard.
Well, I wouldn't say
right?
Superman.
How many calls today, Ari? Let's be real.
Workshop.
No, it was a workshop. All day. All day workshop. Yeah.
Can we address something? And I'm being serious because I know it's hard for me to be serious sometimes. But
sure.
Here's the thing with workshops that drives me crazy now is you've got all these people in a room and none of them have their camera on. So you don't even know who you're talking to.
I begged very nicely at the start, and luckily for this workshop, most people were turning on their cameras. So it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are good people. I'm not worried about them. These aren't. There's another workshop I'm doing that's a bit painful, but these guys in particular are pretty good.
Yeah, I love the artwork here on the side. Did you see that there? Jesus. This is what we deal with, Ari. See, this is the chaos on Habs. Did you see the
Right.
comments? That's Colin, and that's me. I guess Colin's
The
also.
f-
We both have a
that's-
big microphone. That's what
you know what? You know what?
Yeah.
It's very apt. Given every time I hop on your show, Michael,
Yes.
just every time I watch it, you're showing your fine box or something like that, and
Yes.
you know, so it's actually very apt. It's very apt.
So, do we need to wear masks, guys?
Yes,
Okay, because I see more and more people not wearing masks in
They're
Canada
they're dicks.
all the time. All
They're
the
dicks.
time.
Dicks. Complete dicks. Wear your mask. All right. Unless you have a medical condition, which is 0.01% of the population that absolutely
Yeah.
can wear a mask. Wear a mask.
Can
we're not asking. We're
Can
not
I
asking
share
you to give
a
up.
weird story that was true?
Go
It
for it.
made it even more fun. Okay. I live in a very affluent area. There
Mhm.
are some very, very wealthy people who look at me like, oh, that's where the poor people live, right there across the street. Oh, look at them. They seem happy, don't they? They do. So there was a bunch of them outside today, and their area was totally shoveled. Ours was not.
Mhm.
We're slipping and sliding. We're falling everywhere. Everything on their side, which is just across the street, is shoveled. Okay. They're looking at each other and they can't see each other well enough. So they're getting closer and they can't breathe or hear each other. So they take their mask off. And I swear to God, they were this close. See my hand?
Mhm.
They were like this. close.
Wow.
And they're like, Bill, how are you doing, Bill? It's good to see you, Bill. It's been a while. I thought you were Bob. I almost fell.
Nice.
Yeah, but they
Nice.
didn't care.
Mhm.
And I said to the one guy, I said, guys, masks. They went, we went through the war. We know suffering. You guys are a bunch of pansies. Pretty much. He did.
Oh,
What
yeah.
wearing the mask is not suffering. It's part of there's a basic civic duty that we all have, and just do your damn civic duty. You know what? It's not. If my grandmother could survive for years, hiding out in Siberia away from Hitler for years, starving. You know what? We can wear a goddamn mask. I'm sorry. Like I have zero respect for people that push back on that as being, there's nothing wrong with being skeptical. I understand you're going to be skeptical, but you know what? We're not asking you to chop off your arm. We're asking you to wear a damn mask when you walk outside.
Yeah.
Or in a crowded space. That's all that we're asking you to do.
Common sense.
Yeah.
So Ted, did you not get a notification for Hans's show as well? What's going on, man? There's jealousy in the world. There's just too much beauty in this room.
Maybe
That's what it is.
It would be really funny if there's the email server is stopped and all of a sudden, 1 a.m, 50 million emails come out notifying everybody at once.
Exactly. Okay, so folks, I need to go. I just wanted to pop in for a few minutes and say hi.
Ari, we love you, man. At least
you.
I do. Is that okay if I profess my love on the air here?
It's not creepy at all.
Not creepy at all? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your honesty. And I'll work on that.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you, Ari.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go.
Dropping like flies.
That's okay. Sometimes it's fragrant in here. And you know what happens? I find sometimes the flies leave and then a whole bunch of flies come. It's like a whole new world, buddy. How about your show that night? It was just him and I. Nobody else. Just him and I talking about life, him singing his sad songs to himself. I came in, we talked about life. Next thing I knew, there was, 12 women in there.
Yes, because they were told that Hans would be in. But there was no show.
But they never got a notification. What is going on?
That's right. It was the emails.
That's not cool though. Hans works really hard on these. He does.
Well, the recording's available. It would be live better, but when I was looking at the number of people watching, it didn't surprise me. It'll take a while to build up an audience.
Yeah.
I guess I feel a little better that some people wanted to be there and missed out on it. But, part of my goal is to build a content library to help people with certain playlists and tie it into other articles and guides that I publish. So the live audience is something that I just expect will take a lot longer to develop.
I don't think it'll take that long to be absolutely truthful, Hans, because it was a great show. It flowed, there's continuity there. So I genuinely don't think the numbers are going to be very long in coming forward.
Thank you. That blue man beside us there in the chat, that is all the potential people who could have came that got lost in the matrix, not due to getting, guess what? The notification. They didn't get a notification for this. I think people just telepathically come. Do you see how classy my broadcast is today? We have a broom there. I ride around the neighborhood in that. Do you see the broom there on the side there? It's just, I'm just getting classier all the time. And the door at the back there, that enters into other realms of possibility. So I just got, I clearly I don't care tonight. Bob Urban, how are you today? My audience is growing. The more insane I get, the more my audience grows. So there's something going on here. Brother John, do you want to come up even though you didn't get a note? Look, he's really mad. Look, read that, Hans. Read it.
I see. No notifications. So I guess a question is for people that have HAPS open or their browser open, are they getting the browser notifications or is this just an email thing? Because I know I didn't even think about it till you said that. I'm getting the browser notifications and pop-ups on my desktop. I didn't notice the emails, but then again, I turn off a lot of the email notifications just because I just can't keep up with them.
So, Brother John, if you're inferring that I didn't invite you into the broadcast, I've already got your picture ready here. You're the blue man here, emanating light and love, and we'll just have you on the lovely microphone because his bandwidth is usually crazy. Bob Urban, do you have your muscle shirt on? Because we're lacking in beauty. If you have your muscle shirt on, we can invite you up as well. There we go. Bob is a good guy. Bob is what? Let's see how well I was listening. I think he's 100 miles away from doing 10,000 miles in running this year or something.
I can't imagine being chased for that long.
Well, you would have been if they got the notifications today. There would have been all kinds of chasing. But you know what? I think we should be reimbursed. At least I could get a free broom for the other side so it would match up. There we go.
Michael.
Yes, sir. If I lost my way, tell me. Tell me, sir.
Not still. I'm just curious as to what the actual show is called. I know this is like the after show, but what's this show called? Is the show called The Business?
Well, right now it's called Monkey Business with Hans and Michael.
No.
Yeah,
telling tall tales again. What's your normal show called? Is it called The Business Show or is it called The Business?
Well, on Sunday I actually behave. I behave as well as I possibly can. Light business Sunday. Sometimes it's the brunch, right? The brunch show, the business brunch, and you will never see me more well behaved or together as I am on that show. What I usually do is I have a staple gun. If I feel like I'm going to be crazy, I just shoot it into my knee, and that stops me. But it's a bloody mess by the end of the show. That would
work.
It does. It worked for a while.
Pull you back on track.
Yeah, it's just the loss of blood. Sometimes it's just too much. It's too
unstable.
Unstable. But you know what? If we got notifications, I'd be fine. Oh, sorry. I was wrong. 800 miles away from hitting the 10,000 mile since 2011. Oh, I thought it was like last week. That's a hell of a run.
That deserves being knighted by the Queen.
Yes. Ted, what's going on? Why aren't you up here? I invited you. Did you not get a notification either? Ted is awesome, by the way. You guys will love Ted. Ted, you should come up.
Ted said he can see it, just isn't available. So,
what?
Yes.
So should I invite him again?
No, he knows he can't come up. But so thank you. But he got the notification. He got the invite, but can't come up. Kind of like Ari could only come in for a few minutes.
Yeah, I think I was driving Ari nuts, to be honest with you. But
that's Colin. What is the tea of choice this evening?
The tea of choice this evening is PG. It's sometimes Earl Grey, with a dash of lemon there, but tonight it's just plain and simple PG tips, just like an ordinary British breakfast tea with a dash of milk and a little bit of
Are you
sugar.
saying Bee Gees, like the group? Or what are you
No,
saying
I
exactly, sir? How deep
As
is
in-
your love, really?
That's in parental guidance. PG. Pretty good.
PG. Do you ever have the night fever by yourself there? Do you drink the tea and dance around? Put on a
I hope-
3-piece suit and pretend you're John
I find
Travolta
that
for one evening?
It generally aids me in staying alive.
Staying alive. I'm staying alive. They always sounded like they were cackling to me near the end. I do like the writing though, so I should be nice. Yes.
We went off topic slightly with a.
Yeah, I fell off I think I fell off the rails here. Okay, let's talk to Hans. He's good for this. He can get us back on track. What is a business thing we could talk about? Hans.
Oh, there was a comment or a question earlier.
Yeah. Yes.
That with everyone tired
Oh
about
my god. Oh my god.
What? What's this? What? What?
Well, I can never unsee that picture. Okay. So
I love how thin I am there, though. God, I'm thin. Well done. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yes, they're beautiful. I won't put that on the screen during the Lights Business Sunday show. There you
I
go.
think credibility is going down a slippery slope with that one.
Yes.
There was a question, Hans. Let's get back on track here, guys. There was a question earlier.
Sorry.
Yep.
You
so
can't
Donald,
unsee that, though. You're right.
No.
You can't unsee that.
So Donald Brandt said, since COVID is hanging around, hasn't really changed, we're just going it out. 2021, what are investment areas or stock tips? None of us, I don't know about you, Colin, but I'm certainly unqualified to talk about it. I have ideas, but you'd be silly to follow it. So where do you think, what do you think are some of the business sectors that will do well over the coming year? What are some of the areas that, like restaurants, we know it's going to be continued struggles until they get to reopen, and then there could be a decent, I don't think it's going to be an immediate rebound. What are some areas that you all think will bounce back and could be strong sectors as 2021 grows?
Well, I would say, I may not have heard the question correctly, but I think that the people that are going to do well are the people that don't need to carry stock, the people that can work online, people that can work from home, obviously. So
I have one, honestly, that I think if you can invest in any company that makes paper towel right now, because your dogs do several things. They pee, they poo, they poo, they pee, they eat, they run, they pee, they poo, they repeat. I've never used so many paper towels in my entire life. And the truth is, and I'm not joking about this, prior to like the first round was milk, bread, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. No one cares anymore about the hand sanitizer. Have you noticed that? There's billions of bottles. There's a billion bottles. We're going to be drinking those before we use those. Did I say that out loud? Sorry. So here's the thing. Now it's paper towel. So people will run down the street with paper towel under their arm like they've won some prize. Oh God, paper. I used to think that was the most bizarre thing. They would have the toilet paper before. Now it's paper towel. What else is there a shortage of besides empathy and love?
Are you being sponsored
by paper towel? No, not yet, but I'm working on it. Thank you, Scott Towel. If you're out there, the quicker picker upper, I need some. Send me some. I will advertise nonstop. I will even call it the Light Business Quicker Picker Up Sunday show, and the business width. What was it? The brand width. The brand width show. I like that. I actually do.
Yes, we're moving away from the toilet roll scenario.
I have something etched in my brain now that I saw in the comments. So I'm sorry about that, folks. I'll be back.
So the cleaning supplies, anything around the pandemic are going to continue to be strong. I think that, well, with Biden and now, at least in the US, they're going to be driving a lot of alternate energy. So anything in the alternate fuels, alternate energy sector. You've heard the car manufacturers with Mercedes and I think BMW coming on board saying that in the next 10 to 20 years, they expect to be all electric. So I think those are areas where just following the news seem to be strong, which means the companies, the key to electric vehicles is really twofold. The battery and the charging system. And then the second is the charging stations. And it's not viable until either the batteries have capacity, so you rarely have to charge or you could recharge quickly, or we have to have enough charging stations. Like I can't drive up to a filling station, grab my 52-ounce American soda while I refill my gas tank if it's electric. I drive a Prius hybrid because I want the freedom that gas provides. So I'd say, the battery technologies would probably be a better long-term investment because that also doubles as home and business alternate power systems.
Well, my
Bob, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed, Bob, that this is 2 shows in a row now without the muscle shirt. So, do we have to maybe do like you don't get notifications. So even if we put it out there, they wouldn't even know, right?
You're too funny.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
Have you met Hans? Have you met Hans?
No, I've never met Hans. How you doing, Hans?
Hans is one of my favorite people. Colin is like my brother who drives me crazy. Hi, Colin. How are you today?
Hey, Colin. How are you?
I'm doing good. Pleased to meet you, Bob. But I want to just tap into Hans's question before Hans's topic before it fades into obscurity, which it will very shortly. I can feel it coming. But my nephew, and he's an electrician, works for one of the big electric companies there, and he was saying that even though the government are saying over here that they're going to make it compulsory, that they're going to phase these electric cars in, our national power grid would not be able to cope with the load that's going to be placed on it with all these electric cars. And that was from like the horse's mouth. So I just wanted to add that there. So sorry about that, Bob. Come back in, buddy.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I joined in on the conversation late, so I apologize.
No, we were just trying to bring the business talk back to have anything close to business. And, that can always be a little fun or challenging.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the telecom business. So, I worked the entire duration through COVID. I'm very fortunate. I know that there's a lot of people that are out there that aren't as fortunate as I may be, but being an essential worker in the state of Pennsylvania has been very, very big for me, so, and I'm very happy and very blessed to have that opportunity.
Yep. And absolutely. I think the other thing that we're going to probably see, talk about things that are on the rise as 5G rolls out and is more viable, the monitoring devices, communication devices, edge computing devices, sensors are going to, I would say, probably explode because 5G provides the bandwidth and the data stream that can make a lot of those sensors. I've seen that when I was looking into the professional sports industry spotlight that I was talking about on the last show, and how you could tag players, you can monitor health, you can see if they're at peak performance. Well, those sensors could be embedded in just about everything, but you've got to have that network to do it. So anything around 5G sensors, I think, is going to explode over the next 5 years. Being in telecom, what do you think? What do you see in that space, Bob?
Well, I also see that as well. The company that I work for is building a fiber optic network. So we're offering gig service everywhere. So, you're even bigger than 5G at this point. So, the gig network is just absolutely incredible. When you have fiber to the device, it's big. It's real big.
That's going to be my next question because I keep hearing about 5G and I'm not quite
a lot of your
how does 5G compare with the fiber optic?
Right. A lot of your telecom companies, like, they may not necessarily be fiber to the device. They may be fiber to the side of your home, and then you got Ethernet to the modem. Yeah. The company that I'm working for is building this infrastructure that is nothing like you've seen in the U.S. before. So it's big, and you're going to start seeing it. And I wouldn't be surprised that, you know, once the infrastructure's built, you know, there's other telecom companies that'll just jump in. So.
Well, I was really struggling with the internet connection. I'm on ADSL, I believe, something.
Oh, DSL, yes. Yep.
They were the words that we used. So at the moment, how I'm sort of bypassing that hurdle, because my ADSL signal from the box, as you say, outside the property into the house, the connection there is like dropping in and out. I'm going like from 5 megabyte down to so many kilobits.
Hans,
so
sorry, Colin. What is happening with Bob right now? Bob's moving his arms but not saying anything.
Are you able to hear me or no?
I think the Palladian overlords took you for a bit there, and that is weird.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna log out and I'll log back in. How's that?
Okay, because you'd swear we were doing some kind of joke. Okay, all right.
Okay, we lost you for a minute, like you were on mute.
Yeah.
As I was saying, so I've bypassed that problem I'm currently wired to my phone as a hotspot. So even though I haven't got 5G capabilities, the 4G network is obviously handling the data load better than the ADSL, which is crazy in theory. But
yeah.
Well,
Hans, can we bring up one weird thing? Is it okay? Because it's been actually on my mind.
Your show. And then we'll go back to Bob, and so let's hear your weird thing, and then we'll go back to Bob.
Okay, I want everybody to chew on this just for a second, because my mind keeps going to this. How do we address all of these people that have been on the front lines, you know, helping us, nurses and that have been, you know, thinking, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Things are going to get better. If I can just get through this month, then things are going to be normal. Like, it's not getting normal. Like, what are we going to do with these people? Like, how many people have had to walk away, right? Because they can't do it anymore.
Well, so I'll say the best thing would be for people to practice all of the safety precautions so that we'd stop filling up as many hospital beds and keeping them this busy. That would be number one. The second is, you know, ultimately, they're just going to have to pull back to a normal workload, which means the quality of care, the number of people that can be served is going to have to go down, and that's going to have a cost. But you can't burn out that many people and that many resources indefinitely, or the whole thing will collapse. So, you know, kind of like flattening the curve, I think a lot of healthcare systems need to flatten out their service hours and cut back service to preserve their people. And that has a human cost to it. It's horrible, but to me, that's the reality of it.
Yeah. Bob, you're sideways. Now, does that help with reception?
Let me see.
Like if you're sideways, do you get a better signal? Is that
better, Michael?
I liked it sideways, but people were. I think it was driving them crazy. To me, I felt like I saw you in a different light.
Yeah, I don't have the camera and the microphone set up, Mike. I'm just using my phone right now, so I apologize. This morning I was on my phone, and am I turned around now? Can you see me?
No, you're good
to go.
Okay. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get you on your computer someday so we can.
I will. I'm actually going to buy that. I had to buy the camera and the microphone for sure.
The one I've been talking about? The one I've been pumping?
This is new to me. So, huh? Yeah.
Okay. And because Colin's got it. I've got it.
Yep.
Honestly, I've only followed people. Even on Periscope, I never really jumped on anybody's broadcast. I've only just listened.
Well, here's the thing. When you've got muscle shirts like you've got, and you can talk and not be heard, there are women around the world that are now waiting. You've given them a sampling. It's just like, you know, when the crack dealer goes, just try it. Just
try it.
Just try it. No, good. Hey, come on. Just what harm will it do?
Yeah.
Well, when we were last talking to Bob, he was explaining a little bit about how the company he's with is using fiber to really improve the quality of service. And for people that are kind of new to that area, imagine taking the entire water line that goes to your house, pushing it through a hose, and then trying to push that through a straw.
That's
and
exactly
the problem is every time you drop down to something that just can't handle, like Colin was saying, his phone can handle more data, more bandwidth, so his audio and video are excellent, but he's running it through his phone, whereas his old DSL is kind of like driving an archaic car where 3 people are pushing it and you're trying to jumpstart it.
Right. And also keep in mind when you're using, DSL or you're using coax, any sort of crack in that cable, it deteriorates the signal. It increases the noise level, which in turn will ultimately, ruin your service as far as, your quality. So I don't know if people are aware of that as well. Whereas those fibers, pure glass, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. Bob, can I talk about a different kind of fiber? Is that okay? Because we're talking about fiber, right? I've been on this juicing diet and I've been eating a lot of fiber, and I'm telling you, I'm having gastritis problems and things are moving. But it's a different kind of movement. It's a different kind of clarity. It's a different kind of reception.
Right.
Okay. I thought I'd add that because you talked about fiber and I thought of different fiber, unfortunately.
Well, you went
squirrel.
Yeah, you had some weight loss, right, Michael?
I've lost my mind and I've lost 25 pounds, which poor Hans knows that I've lost my mind for sure.
That's the heavy load for the toilet to handle.
Well, I'll tell you, the guy that was in that meme, I'd love to be. I'm not quite there yet, but someone stuck my head on some guy sitting on the toilet earlier. So if you don't understand, Bob, in the comments, it was beautiful.
Okay, I didn't see that, but okay.
Yeah, well, it's etched in our mind forever now. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to definitely change the name of this show to anything but business show. You can change it, Hans. I promise. We'll change it. We'll change it to something. Michael is a squirrel. Oh, yes, he's lost his mind. That's so good. So, what's everybody currently grateful for in this moment in time? Because we're getting close to the end of the show here. I don't like to run them much longer than an hour. They start to go squirrely. The broadcast.
Every day that I'm alive, I'm completely blessed. I'm fortunate to be in a situation that I am. I'm a father of 4. I couldn't imagine life without them. So, I mean, I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm a very positive person, and that's one of the things that I like about coming on to your show is that you are also very positive.
Yes, not very sane today, but positive is good. Sometimes
but you also you have a unique way of breaking balls, which I freaking love. Which is good stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Well, listen, sometimes jealousy is overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Because when I saw you with that muscle shirt on, I was thinking to myself, my God, man, look at this guy. Like not only is he coming on here all gorgeous, he's flexing. Like, thank you. We need some beautify. We had poor Randy in there and me, 2 old farts. We had nothing to offer.
Jesus.
Colin wasn't anywhere to be found, and if we have Colin on, it's a different world.
I appreciate the compliment. I do.
Brother John, are you mad at me now? Because Brother John was like going, I didn't get an invite. I didn't get the links. I found your 25 pounds. Did you find? Where'd you find the 25 pounds?
Right.
Where'd you find it, buddy? On your hips, your belly, or your ass?
That's funny.
How about you, Colin? Have you gained any weight? And Hans, have you gained weight at all?
No, to be honest. But I can eat like a horse and just not put any weight on. I can just burn it off. I just burn it off and burn it off.
Hans, have you gained any weight?
You asked me the question, Michael, but have you tried eating out of a nose bag on a regular basis? That's good.
I love that. Thank you.
Somebody in the comments there said, I knew a constipated mathematician that worked the problem out with a pencil.
Oh my God. I thought that was Captain Rehab for a second, because that's something he'd say. I thought Captain Rehab's here, but no, that's just Colin.
I'm grateful for 4G because it enables me to come on your show, Michael.
Are you 4G? Is that what you're saying? You're not 5G.
I'm
Wait
on
till you're
4G.
5G. Wait till
I'm
you're
on 4G.
5G.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, it works.
Can we talk about the dangers of 5G?
You mean the
Are there any?
dangers that there are none at all, and it is one of the most ludicrous things that was tied over the last year or two?
Yes, please, if that's what you believe.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, we got all kinds of memes here. Let's get the other one up. There you go. See, this is a great thing with Haps, so you can do this. So, Randy, I was putting pictures up of like spiritual stuff, and it was driving him out of his mind. He was saying it's affecting the bandwidth. It's like having 4 guests. It's you got to take it down. The broadcast will crash. I was like, what?
I think you're good.
What is this? Look at him. He's on a roll now. He's out to get me. This is because I put business after show here. This is what we got here. He's having fun now. He's rolling with the punch.
So we'll throw a little bit of behind the Like Business Sunday show or any of the business talks with Michael. Every time we're doing a show, we always have a conversation. Who are we going to invite? What are we going to top out? What about the topics? And my answer is always the same thing. Here's some things we can talk about, but it doesn't matter because when you get on the show, you're just going to go wherever the spirits pull you, and there's no point in planning. It's just going to go left. So why don't we just plan to just see where we're going to drive and go?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? When we, I did, Brother John, I added you. Are you not getting it?
Hans and Collins, if you can put Colin, if you can put something in a text so I can quickly just add you guys, that would be great. Because I don't think I'm following either one of you.
So
if you're a friend of Michael, you're a friend of mine.
Yeah. So I looked and Brother John is invited to this broadcast.
I invited him again. Invited him again. So, fat guy from out west, can you please come up for a couple minutes? He's one of my favorite people too. Right up there with Colin, even though Colin and I fight nonstop, but it's okay. You know, it's a brother thing. And Hans just there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
You've enriched your life if you follow Hans. Trust me. Your IQ will go up. Your sanity level. What's label?
Labia. Who said labia?
What?
You said labia.
Say sucker? Say what?
You said labia.
No, I said label. What is that like a navel? Like what?
Lethal, label? What are you saying?
I don't know.
Spit it out, Michael. Spit it out.
I'm not even drinking. Like, this is scary. Okay. All right. And he said earlier, brandwidth instead of bandwidth. And I thought that's a great name of a business show. But Lathel sounds like I'm unstable. Well, that might work.
Brother John, I see the point. The penny drops. Yes. ADD, as in attention deficit disorder.
Oh, absolutely. Shiny ball.
What?
Say what? Squirrel.
Oh, my word.
You know what?
Hans,
this will be a fun one for people to listen to.
How do you cope, buddy? Really? How do you do it?
Yeah. You know, when you're at a fair or an amusement park and everything is spinning, flashing, or a casino, you just kind of keep pointing forward, let the craziness go around you, hop on a ride every once in a while. And if it's too much, download squirrel memes and squirrel pictures to throw up in the chat.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And know that that's his wheelhouse. That's what he does. Yeah. Do you know who's one of my greatest influences, honestly, though, is I love Robin Williams. When he was on the coke and he did those, my God, the stuff that came out of his mouth. It was crazy. You couldn't follow it, but you couldn't help but laugh at it. He was so gifted.
Yeah.
He was one of the best. Like,
he was a legend in his own lifetime. He really was. Legend in his own lifetime.
What's sad about him is he suffered from depression so bad.
and couldn't get help.
Yeah, and nobody wanted to help him, and he couldn't do relationships. He just could not do them. Not long term. It was really tough for him. Poor soul. Yeah, I totally agree.
Picture of Robin Williams up there.
Well, we did. We had the squirrel up there, like, because he was crazy at times. I loved him even in Mork and Mindy.
I was just going to
mention Mork and Mindy.
Nanu, Shazbot.
And Randy always calls me Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, really?
Yes. He always goes, Michael, you're a cross between Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. It depends on the day. Because when I go spiritual, he thinks I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. So
yeah.
Oh, thank you. There, see that he was one of the greatest souls that ever was on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
He really was. But
he was good.
I think when he was bad, he was really bad though.
Oh, calling Orson. Come in, Orson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy days.
All right, well, listen, guys, I got to bounce out of here, but
okay. So do me a favor, when you know you're coming up with the muscle shirt, we'll advertise it, we'll get it out there, and then we'll know. Right. Like the women of the world, we owe that to them. We owe that.
That'll be your show title. How's that?
That is. Oh yeah. Look at that. Yeah. See? Yeah.
What?
And Brother John is right. I think a lot of celebrities, a lot of comedians suffer from a lot of self-doubt, deep depression, the need for acknowledgement. And I think that's a great lesson we can all take away from that. If you think about some of the most famous people, like a Robin Williams, thought he was all alone and couldn't cope and needed that validation. You know, maybe it's not as bad as we think it is for ourselves. So we can learn a lot from that and reach out and get help if you need it, especially with as crazy as people are now.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, for most people, they were hanging on before. Let's be real, right? A lot of people are hanging on with their relationships. They were hanging on with their businesses. They were hanging on with their jobs. And now we've added a whole dimension of crazy to it. So, and every day, and I think this is why the show is doing so well. It's a little bit of comic relief for people. They leave the planet for a little bit. Like, I think one of the nicest compliments I got in the last week was someone said to me, I can't watch this show, but I listen to it as I take the train in every morning. And it brings me comfort. And I was like, oh, okay.
What time do you start in the morning?
6:30.
Yeah,
Eastern.
I'm driving. I sometimes bounce in, and I'm on the Eastern time zone too. So a lot of times driving in, I'll listen to your show, Michael. I'm usually driving into work then. I'll have to jump on and go live as I'm driving. But
and the thing is, now we have so many guests that do come up in the morning that it's never boring. Like, where at the beginning, I really had to do the show myself, which was not fun. And Colin knows what that's like. And Hans, it's tough doing it by yourself. It's not a fun thing. You feel like you're just talking to the screen.
Especially without the lube. Yeah. Especially without
the Michael, I do have to get going. Hans, Colin, it was an absolute pleasure meeting the two of you. I look forward to talking to you some more.
Yes, and please get we'll have the link in. No, with the camera and the microphone. You owe it to the women of the world. You know, it's a small investment. Sometimes you have to give back. You got to look at the greater good. That's what Colin did. He said, "Look, guys, I've got to get high def on my face. This is what they need." All right.
Awesome evening. Good night.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. It was fun. Thank you.
Good to meet you, Bob.
Anytime. Good to meet you guys as well. Good night.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Have a great night.
Okay. So again, Colin, I barely let you talk today. I'm so sorry. When do you?
I'm used to it.
I know, but it's not right. it's just not right. And I know Hans is happy just putting squirrel memes up. But, you know, that brings him joy. But when I feel like, can we talk about Esther Hicks for a sec before we go? Honestly, you were talking about Abraham the other
thing, because I was going to do a shameless plug there. Hans or somebody mentioned about, everybody's struggling at the moment, and to actually get out there and ask for help. I was about to say, there are some of us on HAPS that actually do help this for a living, help people. So just give me a shout. Right. Can we talk about Esther Hicks? Yes, we can talk about Esther Hicks. Not a problem. What do you want to know about Esther Hicks?
Just whatever you feel, because lately I've been drawn to listening to Abraham. Some of the teachings of Abraham are very powerful. And one of the ones that I heard today, I loved, and it said, what people think of you is really their business. It's not your business.
Yeah, it's been flipped on its head and said, whatever people think of you is none of your business. Esther Hicks and Jerry, her husband there, they were together for many years doing this. They actually started out with Jerry doing the tuning in and bringing the messages through. And then at some point in time, Esther took over the reins. And she's amazing at what she does. She really is. I mean, the auditorium's always packed. She's got such a following, such a huge following. But in a nutshell, it's law of attraction stuff, which basically ties into the Hindu religion. Basically, your karma is in the here and now. The thoughts and your actions and your feelings are going to affect what it is that you're pulling into your life, manifesting on the physical plane.
Mm-hmm.
Because originally people thought that, your karma was going to be something that was going to be, is going to come in. I don't believe she is channeling anyone. It's interesting you say that, Brother John, because there have been a couple of times where it has occurred to me, but I've worked at spiritualist churches in the past, like 20 years ago, whatever it was, where we've got people there supposedly channeling spirits. I think Esther is good at what she does. I think it's possible that she does channel Abraham. Abraham's not a single being; it's a group of beings. Apparently, from what I can gather from the
it's like downloading a pocket of energy, right? That's what she said.
100%. Yeah, 100%. She was in a movie, a drama documentary called The Secret, which a lot of people have found a lot of solace in. It's given people a lot of
only the first version of it, right? The very first draft of it, she was in it, and then they got rid of her.
Yeah, and I've actually, I think you were in there when I was talking to Dimity. I've got a copy of both of them, but it didn't really detract from it to a huge amount, because Esther does what Esther does best. I think in it she says something about,
Oh, Colin's gone. He beamed aboard. You know what happened there? Abraham took him. Back? Abraham got you, buddy. I think you you revealed too much, and Abraham said, "That's it. Send him down." I think, or Esther is here with us saying, "Look, if he's going to talk, if you were gone, you left for a bit. You did. You passed on, but you're good. Okay. You're good."
Well, you asked me. You asked me the question.
No. Like you literally left. You left. You left the broadcast. Like you left the channel. You weren't here. Yeah. Hans, you can pop back up. Hans just left. They're getting woo, man. They're getting so woo. I gotta
go. I do, not because of that, but I do need to drop. So, Colin, it was great to meet you. Look forward to chatting again.
Hans, bring yourself back up for 1 second. Just say goodbye to all your people.
Yep.
Okay, we'll let him say goodbye. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, yeah. Great to see everyone. Look forward to seeing you on another broadcast. Shameless plugs are us. Thursday, I'll be talking to Valence Howden about how governance programs need to be based and founded in accountability, not control. He's just an amazing, brilliant person. Great. So I hope you can join that. And then, don't miss Michael's fun, sometimes a little crazy business chat on Sunday. So hope to see you there as well. So thanks everyone. Sorry, I do need to hop off. I have to eat at some point tonight. So
and he wants to stay married. Thank you, buddy.
okay,
All
take
right.
care, my friends. Bye.
Thank you. Great job
Okay.
today. This is the second broadcast today. Way to go, buddy. Yeah. No, I wasn't joking. You kept breaking. You're breaking up it kind of thing. So this might help. It's just us right now.
Okay, right.
Kelly, do you
So,
want
yeah.
to come up? Kelly's spiritual too. So Kelly, do you want to come up? We're going in the spiritual vein now.
So just to quickly regroup, a lot of the law of attraction, it stems back from, I just said it, Hindu religion.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Vishnu, Krishna, Buddha, Muhammad, and all the rest of it, saying that karma is in the here and now. Obviously, there's a short delay on it. Otherwise, I mean, I think it was brought up in the DVD that if you was thinking about an elephant, all of a sudden an elephant appeared in your front room, you'd start to panic, wouldn't you? So yeah, that's what they're saying basically in a nutshell, that karma is in the here and now, but there is like a time delay on it. The thoughts that you send out there and the emotions attached to it will attract in a like amount of energy. So therefore, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I like the kind of comments that you come out with, like such as the whole gratitude thing. The theory being that if you keep feeling that gratitude, keep experiencing the gratitude, then the spirit, this all-powerful, all-benevolent consciousness energy that's out there will give you more to be grateful for. As you sow, so shall you reap, in a nutshell.
I totally agree. And, the other thing that Esther talks about is aligning to different frequencies and aligning to certain energies and focusing on what you want. I think she calls it rockets of desire, launching rockets of desire. Or is that what you call it?
No, that's what she calls it.
There's some launching of some sort with Colin.
That's what she calls it, launching rockets of desire.
Yeah.
But Napoleon Hill was a long time before Esther, and Napoleon Hill was one of the first proponents of the law of attraction, talking about the different frequencies, about thought being a frequency, and that it's about bringing that thought energy into alignment with the thing that's on the same vibration that you want to bring into manifest there. So
Agreed.
A lot of people sort of jumped on it from there, along with I think it was Wallace Wattles. He was another proponent. There's some great material out there, supportive of it, but a lot of people will say that it's anecdotal evidence. The whole go ahead.
There was a musician the other day, okay, and someone made fun of him because he loved Esther Hicks, and he said, I don't really care if she channels it. I don't care if it's hers. I love the message. I love what she's serving. It doesn't matter where the source is from it. To me, it makes me feel better about my life and makes me want to be more loving. And I'm not a loving person. This is what he said. He's a band guy. And he was on Joe Rogan. And he got very emotional. And Joe Rogan started kind of smashing Esther around a bit. And he went, I don't care. He says, I love the message. I love the idea that I can control my destiny with my thoughts and I can focus on being a more loving individual. And Colin, you and I both, as crazy as I am, we both have that common thread.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. A lot of the quantum theorists are trying to...
Thank you, Vaughn.
People such as Max Planck, and then they start talking Schrodinger's equation, Schrodinger's cat, but all about the different frequencies. And they're saying that there's several different versions of us, several different planets, versions of the planet and our life, how it pans out. And that when you change your way of thinking, you actually shift into that other vibration and you move into alignment with that other self, that other destiny.
Yeah.
So when people are saying that your life is mapped out for you via fate, theoretically, it's not impossible if you take into account that there might be, so many different versions of the fate. That's why I think two.
See,
It's me. Oh, I'm not going to.
Kelly's agreeing with you. She says that's what I think too. It is meaningful. I'm not going to worry about if it's channeled or not. And you know, I love what Wayne Dyer said, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but he basically said, when you change the way you think about things, those things change.
Yeah. Pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
And I believe that. I believe the things that we focus on most, we get in our lives. Like I used to say horrible stuff to myself as a kid. Horrible stuff. The kind of stuff you'd never say to your worst enemy. And I'd call myself an F up in my head, and why is this, and why can't I pay my bills, and all these other things. But I didn't realize at that point the universe was going, oh, I guess he likes this because this is all he does. He does this self-hatred thing. So there must be something about this that he likes. And I didn't realize that I was directing the boat in the wrong way.
Yeah.
For years.
Back to as the Bible says, as you sow, so shall you reap. If you're working down a specific pathway, the universe will give you more of that.
Yeah.
But the faith, the hope that we all harbor is that by changing our outlook, changing our perspective, changing our perception, then we can change what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I always talk about the references that we have in here. The reference of this is how it always is, and this always happens to me, and we tie those things together because everything is an association. And I'm a firm believer that if you believe that there's something more out there, then you're in with a lot better chance than somebody who believes that there isn't.
I want to share something with you. There was a profound teacher that I met yesterday, and his name is Edward, and his wife's name is Lynn. And I thought it was going to be a couple. And did you see that yesterday? Did you watch a bit of that?
I caught it briefly, yes.
I want to invite him up and see if we can get him to come in for a minute. Are you going to broadcast later, sir? And I can maybe join you. Maybe we'll do one of your broadcasts tonight and get your numbers up.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And it's been so long since I've had women in the broadcast. I would feel
no, not if we're going down that road.
No. We can't go where we went before. Is that what you're saying? That was once.
I'm trying to give people a better awareness of who I am. Yes, I can have a laugh and a joke, but I help people sort out, mental issues out. I help people with anxiety. I help people with depression. I help people deal with the COVID. So I've got to be seen to be putting out some stuff of what I actually do. Yeah,
it can't be all chucks and giggles. You'll end up like Michael Bathurst. Like, it's not good. I agree. You don't need that in your life.
I think you've got a great show. I think you cover a lot of topics. You have some great guests in. People can see that you're a great chat show host. You're a great spiritualist.
I think I'm more of a talk show host. I would agree. I think that is my thing. I'm kind of like the Michael Douglas of this.
Yeah.
Maybe on some chemicals without the chemicals. Is that what you're saying?
I'd go with that.
Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Mattering of spiritual.
If I was a band, I'd be Hot Chocolate. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I do believe in miracles.
Since you came along, you sexy thing. I know. There you go. We got it. Edward.
How's it going, buddy?
How are you, my friend? You're back. Look at that. You're suited up and everything.
Yeah, today I'm working, so a little bit more.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the main thing here. Sorry, Colin. He's the man. We thought we'd end with you. I needed some uplifting. I've lost my way, maybe for 30 years, but
Frank,
I don't think you lost your way, sir. I think it's a very good Michael. Colin, great content, very, very good material. I think that a lot of times when people receive information, sometimes taking it in little by little, it's a lot easier for them to digest it. And sometimes people don't realize is the journey. Mm-hmm. People focus more on the journey and they miss out on the small things that helps them get to where they're going. You got to begin with the end in mind. So many people get defocused on the journey.
Can I be honest with you today about an observation I'm making? You seem
Sure.
like the better looking brother of the person I talked to yesterday. Like
That's okay.
you polish up better today. There's
Thank you
something.
very much.
Yeah, I would
I let
not.
him know.
Yeah, you talk to the other guy, and just
I
say,
let
hey,
him know that. Yeah.
there's hope down the road here. You put a tie on a shirt, things are looking up, my friend. No, you look great
Yes.
today, man. You really do. You look younger today. Maybe it's the lighting.
Thank you.
Colin, we need that lighting, brother. We need that lighting. Something's wrong
We
with my
certainly
light.
do. He's got this gentleman has got a bit of a dashing look about him. He's got the hint of a Frank Bruno there with that smile. It's like a cross between Frank Bruno and Les
Yeah.
Brown, with a smile there, and it just draws people in. Love it. Absolutely.
Okay, besides the shovel, we're shoveling this at a rapid rate.
It's true, Michael.
Yeah, no, but we're shoveling pretty quick here. But so the bottom line is, sir, you have beautiful energy. And
Thank you.
I don't know where you got that from. I don't know if you channel that, but you have the ability to heal a room. You really do. And I hope that you come on here and you start broadcasting yourself. And I hope you invite me occasional. I will never be sane. So, earlier I was saying to you, I'm lost, but how can you ever be lost when you've never been found?
Yes,
what do you think of that,
true.
Colin? What do you think of that, Colin? Okay.
That's
Yeah.
deep. That's deep.
It's deep, brother.
We do deep sometimes.
No, we don't. Okay. Go ahead. Edward, give us something deep.
Tales again.
Edward, we're now going to be quiet. I promise. Edward, give us something deep.
I think that some of the things that we all look at and we probably miss out on is the profile of the opportunity that we're looking for. I always share with our team that opportunity has a very unique way of presenting itself. It actually stands on every street corner around the world, waiting to be recognized.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most people don't have their antennas on to know what recognition is. So sometimes people are more focused on their problem, their situation, focus on the problem, the promise that's right in front of them. So I always, like I said yesterday, have a checkup from the neck up. Be very careful that your attitude is always in check, so that you do not react to situations, but you respond. Because everything you want in life is behind the door. It just depends on how many you knock on. Like our team always asks me, what's our quota? I says, whatever your monthly nut is, that's your quota. That's your motivation. So if you know what your nut is every month, what you have to do to take care of your family, that's your quota. You make it happen. I never have to worry about you doing anything. It's called You Inc. You Incorporated. When are you going to be the CEO of your own company, meaning the chief encouragement officer of your own organization? When are you going to encourage yourself to be great?
Makes a lot of sense. I think it was Earl Nightingale that came up with a similar thing. He says, you are your own corporation. And it's so true. We don't notice that, on a daily basis. We're too busy, putting the
Hi,
time
Dee.
to say, well, I've put X amount of hours in, but it's not about the hours. It's about the results that you're getting. You keep going till you get your results. It's no good saying, well, I did 8 hours today or I did 9 hours. Did you get the result? Did you contact such and such a person? Well, I sent the email, but that doesn't count, does it? You need to be getting in touch with that person. It doesn't count. Yeah, I'm 100% on the same page.
Yeah, that's good, Colin. Colin, I think that if people look at the two difference between a noun and a verb, a verb is action. A noun is stationary. Person, place, or thing, stationary. Noun, action. So when I ask our team, did you do a presentation? That's the verb, the presentation. The present, which we call the present, is the gift, is what the family actually receives after they've done the presentation. And another thing I say, how often are you present? Just in your own life. Are you present? Are you the gift to yourself? Or are you always criticizing who you are, your shortcomings? You always focus on your weaknesses, never your strengths. So always be present in your own life, and always remember that checker from the neck up helped you a lot.
The checkup from the neck up. I absolutely love
I
that.
love that. I love that. You know who you remind me of? And it was one of my first teachers. I really loved him. His name was Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn actually spearheaded Anthony Robbins, which was known Tony Robbins at the beginning, his career. And Jim Rohn finally went to Anthony and went, look, you're stealing my stuff. I think of you as like a son. You got to pay me back. And they worked out a number, which they both thought was fair. And Anthony said he was the one that really directed him and got him going. That was the first anchors or the first rockets of desire. We've been using that today. That resonates deeply with Colin. So
I knew rockets. It. I absolutely knew it. I'd been listening to you for a few weeks, Michael, and thinking, I can hear Tony Robbins speaking here.
Yeah, Tony's in there. Yeah, and Mrs. Doubtfire and Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire's in there for sure.
Jim Rowan.
And Mary Poppins. That's what our fearless leader Randy W. Horton always says. Michael, you're Anthony Robbins and Mary Poppins in one. It's all good.
I'm trying to think.
Colin,
who it was? Yes,
Colin. What is Creature Comforts Consultant?
Creature Comforts Consultant. As you know, there's nothing new under the sun. We're all putting the same material out there, trying to help people to understand how to make the changes that they need to change. So I wrap it in the clothing of a Creature Comforts campaign. You know, we spend the majority of our time, let's say 5 days of the week, working on that campaign, you know, putting our Creature Comforts in place. Then at the weekend, maybe we get the chance to do the second major activity that we do, which is enjoying the fruits of our labors. And the third main activity that we go through is coping with the loss of those Creature Comforts. And sometimes they come in the form of a loved one, you know, a mother that you'd go to talk to, a son that you give advice to. They're all our Creature Comforts. They're all part of our Creature Comforts campaign, because when we're doing that thing for that other person, we're helping this person, we're helping that person. We do it because we care, but also because we're getting that feedback, we're getting that appreciation. So it helps the world turn. You know, I'm helping you, so you're appreciating me. So I get the feedback, that positive feedback, the positive feeling. I feel good because I've managed to help you, or, you know, I've managed to help the next door neighbor. So yeah, that's our Creature Comforts campaign. So basically it made sense to look at it as consulting on the Creature Comforts campaign.
Edward, do you think this is my belief? I believe that everyone has seeds of greatness within them, and every single human being has forms of self-doubt, self-hatred, and I think if you can push past those and just look at the seeds of greatness and push past the fear, there's some great outcome for you. But you have to believe in yourself. And there's so many people on this platform that have been told over and over again they can't do this, they don't look right, they don't have the right voice, they don't have the right equipment, you name it. And I believe that every single person has the ability to affect and motivate and inspire individuals around them with their conduct. And with you, sir, you hold space. And what I mean by that is you hold space in a room for people that they can be their authentic self and they feel safe. And that is someone who's done the work. You've mined. You've done years of mining. You've read the books and you're living it. You know, and I really appreciate seeing that, because that is such a rare attribute to see in a human being. And when I saw you the other day, I felt like I got such a nice nugget of joy at the end of the day meeting you. So thank you.
No, Michael, that's good. Well, I think that a lot of us tend to miss out on the true gift that we all have that was given to us at birth.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture says, your gift will make room for you. Your gift. Okay. Going to college or university do not define your gift. It refines it. But your gift is what you bring.
Yeah.
Never defines your gift. And I always say to people, even if you have a degree, it doesn't mean that you have the right temperature. A lot of people have a lot of degrees behind their name, but no temperature, as they never defined their gift. So all other information does is refine it. It gives you the opportunity to go forward and make it happen. But you are the gift to the world. And that's why I always say, are you present? Okay, present mean, am I present today in the space? And am I the gift to that individual, to my family, to my community, to my neighbor? Am I that gift? So you never know, a kind word, a smile, open a door for someone, that small thing can change the direction of someone's life. A lot of times people think it's the big things, but the Bible clearly says it's the small foxes that spoil the vine. And most people don't realize it's the areas that we do not pay most attention to that get us derailed. Those small things that we think are the things that are not. But each one of us was born for greatness. Each one of us are original designs. And as long as each person realizes whatever your gift is to the world, you got to share it, because the world would be left without it. I'm in the funeral cemetery business. And we always say the most creative people on the planet are in the cemetery, because they never drew that picture. They never built that building. They never started that business. They all died and their dreams were buried with them. And they left the world an emptier place because they never stepped forward.
Yeah. See, the three of us here, when we do the rocking chair test, we're going to say we made a whole bunch of mistakes, but God, we tried and we had hustle and we got up and we showed up. Right. And no one's ever going to say that Michael didn't try.
No.
No, they may say, the cheese fell off the cracker, but God, he tried.
Yeah. But what I want to say is that, I mean, half the battle is
Michael, you put the cheese on the cracker at least.
Well, sometimes it's a little bit fluffy, It hits the ground there, and the taste isn't quite the same. But you do what you got to do. You work with what you got. But and I think humor is a great healer, and that's what we try to do here. Is we go deep, but we also try to look at the lighter side of things as well. And Edward, I'm going to end it here, but thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
Please, sir, get some good bandwidth, get yourself a microphone, get yourself on. You could heal thousands of people. You're here. You are a great healer. I see such immense potential in you. Like you've got it. Not potential. What am I saying? We just need to harvest you. You are this great crop.
Michael, I think we should continue this broadcast another time with the three of us. I think we'd have a good discussion for at least a good hour. I really do.
Yeah, we'll probably make us very happy. I don't know if the rest of the world will love us as much, but you know what? Sometimes it's got to be about us, right? We've worked hard. We deserve these moments. But I find when you have the energy between three individuals that are similar, you heighten each other's energy.
I just think it would be a good broadcast. The three of us just chatting. I think it would be quite interesting.
Colin, I agree with you. I think we should schedule it. SW, guys. Some will, some won't. So what next?
Yeah.
You got to write a book, brother. Got to write a book.
As George Bernard Shaw said, 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, 95% of people would rather die than think. And I do believe that if the three of us sat in a room talking on a separate broadcast, I think that it would open a lot of people's eyes, and a lot of people would start to think. And as you say, then they'd start to bring their gift to the table.
Or they would say those three guys are sniffing modeling glue. But you're not going to reach everybody. That's the truth, right? My goal is to reach somebody. That's it. That doesn't have to be everybody, and not everybody has to like our flavor. Right. But Edward, I could see you reaching a lot of people, my friend.
But Michael, I want to share something with you. We do reach everyone. It's called the 3 R's. Mm-hmm. Some people reason with us. Mm-hmm. Some people receive us. Mm-hmm. And some people reject the message. But they still receive. You still reach them. Sometimes people are not ready for the message, so they have to put it on the shelf because sometimes we meet people in life when they're cloudy. They're so cloudy. They got too much in their space.
Yeah.
In the words that Colin and you share or I share, sometimes it meets them at a time that they have to reject it because they have no room to receive at that moment. But some people are at a moment where they can they reason with it. They say, "Man, that's some good information." But the biggest part that I say to people, your commitment has to be equal to your effort.
Okay, I had to put you down there for a second. You were in this enlightened being below me here, sir, because you're pixelating so bad. But I can hear you at least now. So everybody that is imagining Edward, he's glowing with loving light when you hear him. But you're pixelating so far. I thought you were going to become a light being. I was a little worried.
Michael.
Yes,
I appreciate that. Like Colin said, I definitely would love to come back up with you guys and visit. I think it would be a great opportunity, and just to share and open doors and just talk about some processes. We've all been through different things. If we learn to respond to situations versus react, we can help a lot of people move forward.
Agreed. Yeah. Thank you for this moment in time, guys. Colin,
just quickly, Michael. Just
before. Oh no, I know you're quickly. Oh my God, I'll be hearing my alarm for tomorrow. But okay, keep going. Go.
Right, just to re-emphasize what Edward was saying there, and about thinking and taking it on board. I think whatever any of the three of us have said tonight, don't necessarily accept it, don't reject it, but don't neglect it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Very good.
All right. So Edward, be blessed. Colin, thank you for keeping it short. And you know what? A little bit of magic at the end of the broadcast here. A lot of crazy before, but some magic at the end. See, God came through. He really did.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.